also this webinar is an opportunity to give you information about the MATM that you perhaps wouldn't get on a website. Yeah. And so we're going to do that with a conversation. And I'm really thrilled to be joined by our internship preparation advisor, Alejandra Hertiguera, and she is here. Alejandra, I'm going to actually just introduce you all, and then we'll have a conversation. But Alejandra, she teaches the internship preparation course. And she also is an advisor when students are on their internship. And so we're fortunate to have Alejandra join us today. We also have a graduate from the MATM, that is Anu Mezzo. And Anu is joining us today. I believe you said from Switzerland, Anu, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. I'm sorry to correct you, but I'm a graduate from a graduate certificate. In
sorry, yes. Thank you so much, Anu.
Yes.
So Anu, this is interesting. So Anu is a student, yes, from the GC in tourism management. So Anu completed her master's in global management and then decided to take a GC with us. So that's we'll learn more about that in a moment, Anu. I think that's really interesting. And then we have three students who are currently studying with us, Amy, Joel, and Anjali. And I'll be having a conversation with them about their choices for internship in a moment. Yeah. So why don't we start? I think I'd just like to start by having a little chat with Alejandra. And Alejandra, you teach the internship preparation course for our students. Can you tell us a little bit about the intention of that course and your view on what it offers the MA in tourism management? Can I see Ale? There she is. I'm wondering if Ale may have a little bit of problem with technology.
I will make her a co-host. Sorry, I don't need to be co-host. Now you can unmute yourself, Alejandra.
Thank you so much.
That would be useful.
Hi, Ale.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Myself connecting from the traditional lands of the Wasanic people where I live, work and play. So it's a privilege for me to connecting today from my home, whereas right now I'm connecting and working virtually for Roads. But your question, Rebecca, is what can the students expect in the internship? Well, the internship, and I like how your program head is presenting to you, right? These are completing options. There's many different ways that you can develop your career. And what I want to really reemphasize is that internship is one of those, but it's not exclusive. I think it's wonderful to have you connected to leaders in businesses currently in the jurisdictions that you're interested in Canada, because we focus a lot in BC, but there's so many other areas as well across Canada, from Alberta to Winnipeg and Ontario, as well as the East Coast, more the islands. They're looking for talented individuals. So if you are mobile and you are willing to have that opportunity to move around, I think there's a need for leaders. We've seen the pendulum move for people with the education, and they will be really looking forward. The internship does have some limitations with dates, unfortunately, a specific start date, a specific end date, but it still is a wonderful opportunity to connect with employers. I do invite students that they think about the career, not towards the end of their studies, but they give purpose with every single step and program that they pursue, through academic, through their guest speakers, through their practitioners who become their associate faculty. These are great opportunities for you to gain those insights and start getting the pulse of what's important and who are the leaders and where do they gather to discuss what matters to them. The internship runs, right now we have one in the summer, and for the first year, the program head has launched as well a winter internship. So depending on when you start the program, you may have those two options to do a summer or winter internship. So yeah, I think this is something that we Career Services supports you if you decide to pursue that completion option. There is a prerequisite course that even if you're not sure if you want to do the internship, I invite you to take it. Anu Metsu was one of those students. Hi, Anu. And, you know, she just took it for gaining that general understanding of what are those career tools required in the Canadian workplace. This is especially ideal for those international students coming to Canada and looking to understand how to establish themselves here. And I do see as well that Joel is here with us, who he is a Canadian citizen. And thank you, Joel. I think he equally found the course, gave him a little bit more of a different take of skills that he has always possessed, but perhaps he needed to just twitch and just elevate them even a step further. So I think there's a lot of value if you pursue with the internship, but even if you don't pursue the internship, it's a great option, that career development. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. For everyone listening in on the call, internship is an elective option, as Alejandra mentioned, and the internship preparation is valuable for our students. Many students, well, we hear Ali encouraging students to take that internship preparation course. It doesn't have any credits assigned to it as a course, because it's just it can be so valuable. It's a really great way to connect with instructors like Ali and to really focus on your career development and your next steps. I'm going to turn this over now a little bit to our students. And so thank you, Ali, and invite Anu to speak to her experience in the internship preparation course. And Anu, can you tell us a little bit about your experience and how it led to where you are now and the work that you're doing?
Thank you, Rebecca, and thanks for having me. Maybe just as a brief background. So really my master's program was in global management at Royal Roads. But even during that time, whenever I had a chance to do individual assignments, I chose a topic within tourism because that was my goal and passion. I wanted to learn about that. And then I got this option to do the graduate certificate in tourism management, which was totally fantastic. And all this journey through all of the studies at RRU really changed my career and my life. What was great about the graduate certificate program is really that you can choose whatever course best fits to your needs. For instance, I took strategic tourism marketing and transforming destinations and social entrepreneurship. And I think those provided me really good, broad perspective of the tourism industry, really. And like Alejandra mentioned, I also participated in the internship preparation course, even though I didn't do internship, but it was really useful. And I'm really grateful for Alejandra and other career advisors at RIU. Need to mention that Alejandra, for example, has long background in hospitality industry. So it was really helpful to have someone from the industry, to give good advice and also kind of give broader perspective in terms of what kind of players are there in the market, especially in BC and on Vancouver Island even. And she gave me so great tips, to connect to different persons. So that was just awesome. And regarding, I need to, commend the faculty. I really loved all of the faculty, so helpful and so knowledgeable, having lots of insights directly from the industry. At least for me, a person who comes outside from hospitality tourism industry, that was really helpful to get the basic information, the fundamental information about the industry and what opportunities there are. Yes. And what I really liked about the courses was that I think it was a great fit and balance between theory and practical applications. So in terms of readings, we had lots of different types of readings, but then lots of activities, both in team and individually. So I think the teaching methods are great to accommodate different types of learning experiences. So
thank you, Anu. Thank you so much.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, beautifully. Thank you.
Overview.
Yes, thank you for sharing your experience with us. Really appreciate that. And I'd like to ask Joel a question, actually. So Joel is joining us. Joel, if you'd like to introduce yourself and perhaps tell us a little bit about your plans for your internship and your experience in the preparation course.
Absolutely. And I did what Alejandra was talking about when I was in your shoes, like when I looked at the start of I was at the start of the course and trying to pick my completion plan. I thought there has to be a lot of value with doing a career development course. And, I know how to write a resume, and I kind of knew how to network, but I figured I was going to learn something, and it was a good way to use my time and kind of get the most value for my time in the course. And I learned a good amount. And the story that I like to tell is how I applied at a hotel I really wanted to work for before I ever started. And I didn't even get a call back. And then when we got to the resume development section in the career development course, I completely changed my whole resume. I shrunk it down. We learned how to tailor a resume, how to target a cover letter. And then I used those skills and applied back to the same hotel for a different role. And I got hired within the week. The skills that we learned are really in tune with where the industry is at right now. So it's a valuable course, whether you're going to do the internship or not. So when I got to that new hotel, I started sowing seeds to do the internship immediately. And my internship plan was to round out my resume by hitting every single, I was missing the department of sales and events in a hotel. I've done everything else, but I haven't done that. So I was looking to transition to something I had never done before, but still had all the skills. That was going very well. I think that doing these, when you have an internship, you have an excuse to talk to anybody in any position, and kind of a reason to talk with them when you think about networking. So I was able to get access to the director of sales for this hotel, who runs a team of about 10 people. So they're very busy, and they listened to me and they took it seriously because there was something, there was a reason for us to be talking. And we actually got all the way to the point where we had established what the internship would look like, how it would be. And then news got out to another hotel just through the networking grapevine, as it goes, that I was applying for more of a full-time job, nearing the end of my studies. And I got poached into the exact job I hoped to be doing as an internship. So it was just kind of funny how the world goes. By pursuing an internship for the job I wanted, I ended up in exactly the job that I wanted to do. It's a full success story as far as I was concerned.
Thank you so much, and congratulations. You'll be
thank you.
And I understand you'll be starting your internship soon, I think in a couple of weeks. Is that correct? I think April 25th.
I have to admit that I would be starting my internship, but because I've been offered a full-time job, I'm going to be making the most money I've ever made in my career coming up here this summer. I have elected to not do an internship. Again, going back to doing the most value for my time, I'll be taking the new event management course this summer.
Terrific. That's great, Joel. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, congratulations to you. Thank you. And I'm going to invite Anjali into the conversation as well here today. And Anjali.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
What were you looking for from an internship course? Before you went into that course, what did you feel you needed and why did you elect to take it?
Okay. Just going a little back to last year. It's exactly a year since I started the program, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to speak on it. when I looked at the course electives and I selected internship, was basically to get some experience, experience in Canada, because a substantial portion of my experience in hospitality and sales is from Marriott in India. So yeah, and then I enrolled for the internship. In September, the career development course started, and I was like, and probably I'm the person who likes to plan ahead. So I was like jumping ahead, and I remember your words, and it was always, and I'm so grateful to have you had you in my first semester, where everything was like, oh my God, what is this? And it was just like, trust the process. And I was jumping ahead, and that was stressing me out. But then each component of the career course sort of was knowledgeable. Also with regards to the networking assignment and the information session, where we had to physically go and get a networking event done or a meeting. And I was so grateful to get a GM of a hotel in downtown. And then in December, where you're allowed to work full-time, I had the opportunity to work as in that same hotel, because she wanted somebody to cover the night shift. And I was I was exposed to the night auditor position. And then at the same time, the meetings with Alejandra were like, okay, it's a certain specific, obviously a role. And I could feel myself, to be honest, getting like, oh my God, is it going to work? And my discussions with you, Rebecca, were also very insightful, because it's always good to have a sounding board, because to make sure I was going in the right direction, because I could be thinking something and it's always, yeah. So it was just getting, okay, I need these insights. I need these thoughts. Am I going in the correct direction? And then it was like, oh my God, like I was pulling my hair out in December end and January, because I'm thinking, oh, I see this April 11 deadline. I need to put these things on Moodle, and I just don't have any option yet. Delta Victoria was one option. And then because of the job that I took up in December, that transitioned out into a front desk position. And then as it turned out now, it is a front desk supervisor, as well as a tour coordinator and a group coordinator. So like my F&B sales background was one whole big component that I had. Yeah. And this is another whole experience. And also I could add, before I got the contract and before things were working out, I was beginning to think like, oh, I've completed all the 5 assignments. And in the worst case scenario, if the internship does not meet, I'll take another course. But I have learned so much from this course. No credit, keep that aside. But it has given me the knowledge. It has given me the opportunity to network. I have got your thoughts. Alejandra was really helpful and supportive, back and forth meetings. And also, so it just helped Rebecca a lot with your support as well. And eventually it turned out to be what it is. My documents are on Moodle. So it's just like, now I'm all excited to start.
You're ready to start. Thank you for sharing that, Anjali. And I just jumping from that conversation to all of you. I mean, you've all been in the situation that many people are in who are tuning in today, who are looking at, different options. They're exploring graduate programs, perhaps really thinking about the next step. And I just thought it'd be interesting to check in with each of you on perhaps any suggestions and guidance you would give the people, give everyone on the call, because you've been in that position or a similar position, right? So is there anything you'd like to share with our friends on the call today?
Sure, Rebecca, I could.
Go ahead, Anjali.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to the start of the program, where I was all overwhelmed, and probably till now, I just felt it's always useful to have everything like in front of you in terms of a schedule, because you know how to plan ahead. You know what I mean? That was one thing that really helped me, because I have everything in black and white and I can work my way forward. And I keep timelines, not deadlines, I would say, because it gives you pressure, but timelines which are practical, not pressure on yourself at the end, and be organized and always ask questions and communicate, because that's how you get the best information and adds to your own knowledge to move forward.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you. Anu, for yourself, you came into the Masters in Global Management and then into the GCTM. Any suggestions to our students who are potential students who are looking at this MATM program and other programs, perhaps?
I share Anjali's tip to be very organized, because at least in MGM, the schedule was very tight. So yeah, that helps a lot when you are organized. I also want to go back to what I think Alejandra said in the beginning regarding the internship. It's really important that you start early on to kind of think about it and have it in the background, to think about all the possible connections you can have, so that when the internship, if you are thinking about having or doing the internship, so then it's so much easier when the time comes to actually act upon it. When you little by little do maybe industry research, or just even if you are in Victoria, so just travel around to tourism places, go visit places, talk to people. That's how you maybe build connections there and find your internship place as well. So it's really important to start early on, I think.
Thank you so much, Anu. And Joel, could you just speak to perhaps, do you see any connection between the courses that you took in your education and the internship? Well, not internship now, but the job that you just secured. How has the program prepared you for this next step?
It's a big thing to say, but the year of studies has brought out a man from inside me that I really like. And as someone who is going to, he's capable of having conversations with senior leaders in a hotel, and really anybody at a peer-to-peer level, kind of shaking away from the insecurities of being younger and unsure, because when you spend a year getting your brain filled with high level, that's not high level, but broad concepts, you start to gain that understanding of how a lot of the pieces of the world work. And especially framing in the internship prep, like I have to tell you, going to our networking event, I looked around at a group of 20 adults who were all feeling the same way I was, kind of a little bit nervous, a little bit unsure, and it's everywhere. And that's to that extent, we're all the same, whether we're owning a company or we're just students. And I think my piece of advice would be to know that when you walk out of your program, you're going to want to get out and change the world or do something that you've never done before. And you're going to have the skills and mindset to do it. So the studies are, they come hard and fast in the first term. But by the second term, if you're working your 20 hours a week and you're spending your 20 to 30 hours on school, you still have time to think about what you're going to be doing on the other side once you graduate. And that holding a vision for what you want that to be at the end is going to just serve you so well, because then at the end of your program, you won't be wondering what to do next. And keep an open mind to what you can achieve. Like, I was inspired by the story of a grad. When I first started in my first term, I attended a webinar of someone who acquired an internship with the United Nations. And it's not quite a regret, but I will say, I wonder if I had held that sort of vision in my head, I'm sure that I could have accomplished something on that level as well. So don't limit yourself.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. I'd like to now open the conversation to anyone on the call that might like to ask our guests a question. I take a look in the chat, but you're welcome to.
Yeah, I think, Rebecca, in the chat, we have a good question too about how people balance your life, maybe children, maybe other passion with school. So.
Oh, thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to take that one on? How to balance balance school with, and this is specifically if you have children, Nancy?
It can be, yeah, I know I get that a lot from prospect. People
Yes.
are like, oh, like, how will I do? Or how many hours should I plan per week? So if someone just wants to give us some advice, yeah.
It's probably bad advice, but it was what I did and I survived. Is just short-term pain for long-term gain and a little bit of grit. I worked 3 jobs in my first term, which was too much. So then I just took it down to 2 jobs for the second. And I'll tell you, it's possible if you want it bad enough. And
yes, good advice, Joel. A bit of grit can be very helpful indeed. Thank you.
Can I comment?
Yes,
on it,
of course,
Rebecca?
Anu, over to
yes.
you.
Yeah, I have family, but for me, I intentionally, I wanted to know my limits and be within my limits. I didn't work at all. Studying was my job. And I think that was the right decision for me, at least, and for our family, because then I really could concentrate on the studies and really put efforts and, hours on it. So.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And Anu, if you don't mind, could you say it loud? What's your background and where you work now? I saw it in the chat, but some people will watch the recording.
Yes, my background is in management consulting in the energy and infrastructure industry. Totally changed my career. I want to do something else, and this was my passion to enter tourism hospitality industry from some angle. And the big question for me was, what's out there? what are the organizations? How does it, how does the industry work from the professional point of view? Because I've also only been like a customer to hospitality tourism industry earlier, so. It was really helpful. I mean, all the research that I made for different assignments and the graduate certificate program, to take that opportunity to do industry research broadly. And I, studied very different topics, all the way from, how to turn, private estate into a national park and, for, tourism visitation, to comparing profitability of hotels. So very broadly, yes.
And what is your role what's your role right now, Anu? What is your job?
Yes, I'm a project manager currently at the EHL, as I wrote in the chat. So maybe the connection there to my background was that, I've been doing like project management for years. So I could build on that strength. But in a new environment, which of course has helped me a lot in this new job.
Yes, so transferring those skills that you had.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
And the internship preparation really helps you with that, and talking to the career advisors to really know your strengths and weaknesses, and really identifying your transferable skills, for example.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I heard you, Joel, speak a little bit to transformation, and you didn't use this word, but I think about confidence, right? Transformation and confidence, and really believing in yourself and knowing that you can apply for that job. In the one you mentioned, Joel, if you wanted to work for the UN, make that a goal and figure out all the things you need to do to position yourself to have a possibility of getting an interview for that kind of job. So I've heard a lot from you all today about that confidence building and the support that the internship preparation course gives each student to really engage in those activities that help you build your network and present your resume and yourself fully. So, I really appreciate all of you joining and sharing that background with our prospective students on the call, so that they can have that firsthand insight into the internship elective and all that can mean for a student here at Royal Roads and the career and learning development that the university provides. So this time with you, thank you so much for your interest in Royal Roads University. We know that, there are many different graduate programs around the world, and we expect that you're doing your research and looking at different options, and we really appreciate your consideration of our Masters in Tourism Management here at Royal Roads University in Victoria, Canada. And thank you so much for tuning in.